Welcome to Greed MRI, and thank you for joining us. We are the Greed Detector. Just like Rush Limbaugh was the Truth Detector, we take a close look at the people and products, scams, and business systems that shape your everyday life, and we show you what's really going on behind the curtain. Multi-level marketing, MLMs, don't sell products, they sell possibility. A carefully engineered illusion of freedom, wealth, and community. And the deeper you look, the more obvious it becomes. The product was never the lotion, the vitamins, the shakes, or the jewelry. The product was you all along. MLMs start with a promise that feels universal. Be your own boss. Work from home. Unlimited income potential. Join a supportive community. Six-figure income, and more. And they show you proof. Screenshots of payouts. People flashing cash. Staged photos of success. Team retreats. Incredible looking homes and cars. Leadership conferences. Top earning spotlights. But none of this is accidental. It's bait. The top of the funnel. MLMs know if they can sell you the dream, the rest becomes easy. The funnel, how the machine really works, here's the part they never explain. MLMs are not built like normal businesses. They're built like funnels, wide at the top, narrow at the bottom, and always hungry for new people. Mindful of the proverbial Ponzi schemes with lots of losers. Every level feeds the level above it. Your job isn't to sell products. Your job is to recruit, because the real money doesn't come from customers. It comes from signups. That's where you get the first pitch, the second pitch, the bigger opportunity, the team call, the success story, the leadership training, the "you're so close to leveling up" message, the "don't quit before the miracle happens" speech. Most people think they're joining a business, but in an MLM, you are the customer. You buy the starter kit, the monthly inventory, the training, the events, the travel, the subscriptions, the tools, the dream. You're told it's an investment, but it's actually revenue for the people above you. The product doesn't matter. The real product is your belief that you are one recruit away from success. If you're like me, you spend a fortune on the products and never sell one, and end up giving them away or throwing them away. Here's the part MLMs never want you to calculate. If every person needs to recruit 5 people to succeed, and those 5 each need 5, and those 25 each need 5, you get exponential growth, the kind that collapses under its own weight. MLMs don't collapse because the products fail. They collapse because the math fails. There simply aren't enough people to keep the funnel alive. When the recruiting pool dries up, the entire structure collapses from the bottom up. The people at the top call it market saturation. But the truth is simpler. The funnel just ran out of bodies. MLMs don't just sell possibility. They sell identity. They tell you you're part of the family. You're a leader. You're special. You're chosen. You're on the path to greatness. They give you recognition, titles, badges, applause, community, belonging, group hugs. And when you struggle, which almost everyone does, they don't blame the system. They blame you. You didn't try hard enough. You didn't believe enough. You didn't follow the system. You need more classes. You didn't recruit enough. You need to sign up for this next level training. The funnel protects itself by making the failure feel personal. You don't question the structure. You question yourself. MLMs use a predictable emotional cycle. Love bombing. You're welcomed with enthusiasm, praise, and encouragement. Then identity building. You're told you're a leader, a visionary, a future success story. Then pressure. You're pushed to attend events, buy inventory, and invest in yourself. Then blame. When you struggle, the system says it's your mindset, not the model. Then isolation. You're encouraged to distance yourself from negative people, usually friends and families, who see the red flags. Then dependency. Your social circle becomes the MLM. Your identity becomes the MLM. Your hope becomes the MLM. This is not a business. This is a behavioral engineering. Let's talk about the people at the top, the ones who design the system. They're not mentors. They're not leaders. They're not visionaries. They're operators. They understand the psychology. They understand the math. They understand the churn. They understand the desperation. They understand the hope. They understand each piece of it, and they use all of it. And whoa, if you haven't fully signed up yet, they have your email, so you'll get a daily flow of their constant pings to get you on board or back on board. They know most people will lose money. Most people will quit. Most people will blame themselves. Most people will never read the income disclosure. Most people will never do the math. And they count on it. They profit from it. They profit from your starter kit, your monthly auto ship, your training fees, your event tickets, your belief. They profit from your hope, not your success. And when the funnel collapses, they move on to the next opportunity, the next dream, the next pitch, the next funnel. The cycle repeats. The names change. The structure doesn't. MLMs don't target the gullible. They target the hopeful, particularly those with at least a little bit of disposable income. People who want more time, more money, more freedom, more purpose, more community. MLMs offer that, all of that, in theory. And the pitch is always wrapped in emotional language. You deserve more. You're meant for greatness. You're not like everybody else. You're a leader. It feels empowering. It feels inspiring. It feels like someone finally sees your potential. But it's not empowerment. It's leverage. It's greed to the nth degree. MLMs don't die when their products fail. They die when the recruiting pool dries up because the real product all along was you, your belief, your hope, your identity, your wallet. And when the funnel collapses, the people at the top don't apologize. They don't refund you. They don't take responsibility. They simply say, you didn't want it bad enough. You lacked the discipline to be successful. You didn't try. And then they move on. Let's talk plainly about the people who build these systems, the ones who sit at the top of the funnel and pull the strings. They aren't naive optimists. They're not just trying to help people. They're not mentors. They're not coaches. They're not visionaries. They're principal architects of a machine that depends on churn, desperation, and belief. They understand the psychology better than most therapists. They understand the math better than most accountants. They understand the human vulnerability better than most marketers. They have the bait, and you are the prey. They know exactly what they're doing. They know most people will lose money. Most people will quit. Most people will blame themselves. Most people will never read the income disclosures if one's available. Most people will never do the math. Most people will cling to hope longer than they should. And they design the system around those truths. These operators build an environment where belief is more valuable than the product and loyalty is more profitable than sales. They create a culture where doubt is disloyalty, questions are negativity, hesitation is weakness, leaving is betrayal. Get ready for the guilt. And they wrap it all in the language of empowerment. You're a leader. You're chosen. You're meant for greatness. You're not like everyone else. It's not motivation. It's manipulation. Because the moment you stop believing, the machine stops earning. There's a moment in every MLM journey, a quiet moment, when the dream starts to crack, when it starts to collapse. You look at your credit card bill. You look at your garage full of inventory. You look at the monthly auto ship you can't cancel. You look at the events you can't afford. You look at the team that only calls when they need numbers. And you realize something. You're not building a business. You're feeding one. But instead of support, you get pressure. Don't quit now. You're so close. Success is right around the corner. Winners push through. Your breakthrough is coming. They don't want you to succeed. They want you to stay. Because your belief, not your sales, is the fuel that keeps the funnel alive. Leaving an MLM isn't like quitting a job. It's like leaving a belief system. You're not just walking away from a business. You're walking away from the identity that they gave you, the community they built around you, the dream they sold you, they hope that you invest in. And that's why people stay long after the money is gone. Not because they're foolish, but because they're human. They hate to give up, particularly in front of all those who were close and knew they bought in. MLMs don't prey on weakness. They prey on hope. At Greed MRI, we scan the world for hidden greed and value deals, so you don't get played by the story behind the spotlight. Join us every day for our short and long episodes and our new podcast and take a closer look behind the scenes of greed.